Hello. What's up, Spillers?
Spillers. Alright, I need to open my book. Oh my gosh. Why did I choose this color?
I know, I was gonna say.
I'm screwed. Oh! Okay, I'll just do that one. It's a bit blinding, I'll say.
You're gonna be like, hold on, guys.
Hold on, I need to get out my flash.
Charlie bit me, he bit my finger. Sophie bit me, she bit my finger.
Freak!
Oh, right.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
No.
Wait, can we do British for this episode?
What if we do the whole episode
In a British accent? Probably not good accents
British.
either.
They're not good.
Mine's probably not good.
No, I feel like it is.
Oh. I feel like this would peak out in... whoa. Sorry, guys. Speaking is... Guys, you can't...
Speaking is not a first language.
Guys, if you could see the setup Sophie has going right now, it's actually quite funny.
Quite blinding. I'm not gonna lie.
At least it's not like before when you had the yellow light, like, beaming at
That is
us.
true.
And then you would have that light. And
I am sorry. This is gonna burn your battery. I'm really sorry. I don't want to do that
it's
to
okay,
you.
I charged it just for this.
I'm just gonna... And if I need it...
Well, I'm a little worried about your eyeballs.
No, we are good. I can see it.
Guys, Sophie has chosen the color pink. If you aren't familiar with what our studio looks like when we aren't filming, it is quite yellow. And
Basically, the pen color
is not there.
it's not there.
Sophie has created invisible ink.
All right,
With
okay.
my wonderfulness.
We should get started.
We probably should. This is a lot of rambling. You know, it would be cool
What?
to be like a accent coach, or like
Oh my
the
God.
person who like teaches actors how to have.
Yeah, it'd be so fun.
I guess would you be like linguistics?
I had to work with some of those people
Really?
for a few shows. that I
That's
was in.
cool.
But-
Were they like really good?
Well, of course they were. Anyways,
Guys, I'm sorry if you can get my like ginormous gulps of
you
water.
can also get mine. Are you ready? Except this is a Diet Cherry Coke.
Ooh. Do you always have cherry?
No,
I was gonna say this feels like a.
but it was at my parents' house.
so it was
and-
free.
So it is free.
And
Alright.
UC only sells Pepsi, so
I actually don't mind Pepsi.
I actually don't care. I don't really
I
partake.
actually think
Like
it's pretty
I don't
good.
like either of them that much.
Don't unfollow us now. We're at the end, so don't.
Yeah, that would be kind of sad if people unfollowed us just because you were a Coke drinker
Yeah, that would.
rather than a Pepsi girl. It's Bullocks.
Yes, it's
Bullocks.
It's absolute.
Bullocks.
Anyways,
I'm really sorry if we have any UK or Brits out there.
I love the Brits. I gotta say,
I
love
know,
'em.
but I'm scared they're gonna get offended by our British.
You think they don't? Do
No, they
American
100%
accents?
do the Americans, and I'm sure there's a lot of
And you
fat
know what
jokes.
it is? It's all cowboys and out on the boat.
I know if you
and Valley girls.
it's all down west. It's
Yeah.
never like, or it's like sometimes you'll get a fun one where it's like they're from like New York,
Oh, yeah.
and
That's
it's
kinda hard to
like
do. I
really
can't even do that.
Jersey.
From New Jersey.
I'm walking here.
Oh my God!
wait.
Have you played the Lego game?
No, should I?
Freak.
Am I
If
missing out?
anyone knows this, I'm about to do a vocal stin. Be prepared. Hey, I'm walking here.
I'm walking here.
It's a little Lego character.
See,
It's
I
really-
always just think of like the Wolf on Wall Street.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen the Wolf on Wall Street?
No.
With Leonardo DiCaprio.
No.
Honestly, the movie's kind of a lot.
Let's do our episode intro.
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
That's a lot of.
I'll find a way to work it in. This one matters. So, what? Wait, it's episode 8.
We don't even remember anymore.
Well, wait. Hi there.
Oh.
Okay, let's restart.
What up? What up? Spilled.
Hi, I'm Sophie.
And I'm Joe.
And welcome back to Spill.
Welcome back to Spills.
Welcome back to Spilled, everyone.
Episode 8 or 9.
Did we
I'm pretty
eat
sure
or did
it's
we
8.
eat?
Whoa. That was crazy.
Today we are talking about
Confidence. For our
There's a
last
song
episode
for that, right?
this year. Yeah, the Demi Lovato one.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Wait, what is it?
Confident,
No, I know. I'm trying
Wait.
to sing it.
right?
So you say I'm confident. Frick. I don't know.
I
it.
know it's right on the tip of my brain too.
Anyway, so we're talking about confidence today.
Yes, we are. And I also want to point out before we even get started, me and Joe are literally matching crazy.
I know, and we
Right now.
ran into each other in the dining hall, which is honestly crazy because I
never
never
have
see
seen
you
you.
ever.
I think I've never seen
Which
you
is just
in the
maybe
dining hall.
we're just in very different schedules.
I
and
think so.
I also really only go to the dining hall like towards like dinner or like in the afternoon. I'm never there in like the morning.
Well, I'm not really either. I'm like, I only really go to On the Green
Same
for
though.
dinner. This is our last episode of season 2, but
And I want to
Do
say
not-
Sophie just gave away we're moving sets.
we may be moving.
Maybe.
sets.
Maybe. It's
We
on the
may
question.
be. Who knows?
We have yet to made a big decision here on this build
We're
team.
feeling a little indecisive.
It's also
There's a lot of factors.
there is a lot of factors. There's also a chance that we could be somewhere else. We could be here. It could be split. But I mean,
But season 3 is happening
Yes.
next fall, and we are going to be there. We are going to be here. I mean, like, we're still here.
yes.
And I'm so excited because I think my favorite part about starting a new season is the photo shoot.
Yes.
It's like where my creative outlet comes in, and I'm already Pinteresting. I told Joe I need to
And
send her.
I think I'm also really excited, at least, like, I think I'll have so much more ability because I won't be, like, living at the dorms in UC. So
We're
I'll,
gonna be living together. It's gonna
I
be
know,
so,
that's crazy.
so much, like.
Can you think, though, like, literally, okay, it hasn't been a full year, but, like, 6 months ago, we had no idea, like, who we
That
were.
is insane.
And you asked me one day on a walk if I wanted to do the podcast.
Like, let's be honest, you probably thought I was crazy.
No, I think I thought you were crazy because you were
I
so
did.
surprised that I was like, yes.
I didn't think
And
you were gonna say yes. 'Cause
I honestly, I think I'm someone, if you ask me to do something, unless it's like really like horrible,
Oh, right.
which starting a podcast is not, I will most likely say yes.
You're a yes man.
I'm a very optimistic person, I think, especially when it comes to like new opportunities where it's like, and I like to talk. So here we are.
And here we are. Yeah, but I'm really, really excited. It's gonna be a great next chapter. But in today's last episode, we're gonna make it a good one, and we're talking about confidence.
Which is actually really surprising that we've never talked about this because I feel like this
Yeah.
is such a like confidence. You know what I mean? It's very like,
Yeah.
I don't know, a major theme in life. I
It
guess.
is, and that is like one of the points I said is I think struggle or dealing with
Sorry, I didn't mean to
confidence
laugh at that.
is it's a universal thing.
Yeah.
And you may see people who you think, oh, they're the most confident person ever, and they might be really confident, but nobody is perfect at that. And I think that there's always going to be some underlying thing or aspect of them that, struggles with confidence.
You have your shoes
So-
off. Sorry.
No, I know. It is. I don't have my shoes off, and that is a deliberate choice because I usually shower actually before I come here,
Really?
and
I
I
didn't know that.
didn't. And I get a little self-conscious.
Oh, my feet are definitely disgustingly and smell bad.
It's been a long day.
I'll admit it. I don't care.
So, I guess you could say I'm not really confident in the smell of my feet.
No, I don't think many people are very confident in the smell of their feet. I actually think that's a very, like...
I actually have part of my OCD is hygiene.
Really?
That is actually the main thing.
So you,
I
like,
am probably...
Do you wash your hands, like,
I do.
repeatedly?
Yes.
I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my mind.
Well, that is a big... That's a very stereotypical one, but it is true.
Maybe that's why it came to my mind. Sorry, I'm stereotyping.
It is true. No, it's okay.
Break the stigma.
Actually, I don't wash my hands ever.
She actually does it once a year.
But
she only washes her feet.
Yeah, exactly. But like anytime before I can't get into my bed without showering. Or like anything.
Mm-hmm.
I can't take
like
my shoes into my bedroom. I literally like it gets.
Does that mean you're gonna, when we're living together next year, am I gonna have to take my shoes off on the carpet?
No, you don't have to do that at all.
Well, will it make you feel better?
No. Honestly, it's all...
You?
It's all, like, in my own head.
Really interesting.
Like, if you left your shoes on, I wouldn't care.
Do you think it's because you know you, like, don't have control over other people?
Probably. With, like... dorming and stuff, you have to live with other people, and I think that was something I had to give up, was like knowing that there's a community space. I can't always, like, I do try, but I can't always like keep it
nice and tidy. Yeah, it was like that a lot the first semester as well. Anyway, back to confidence. Confidence in our cleaning abilities.
Yeah, literally. This might be a bit of a hot take, but I feel like... Sorry, I'm just, like, thinking about this flashlight situation.
Yeah,
if
guys...
you can't... Wait, can't
can
see.
I make a behind-the-scenes
Yes, you can.
post of... Okay, guys, so if you go to our Instagram, or honestly anywhere, you're gonna see this wonderful... photo of Sophie with her flashlight.
I'm pointing my flashlight at my notes because I can't see it. Like, it's just... Anyways. Okay, so this might be a hot take, but I feel like confidence is something that is developed. And some people think that some people are just, born with...
multitasking.
No, you're good. That some people are just born with, like, this natural... confidence and air about them. I really feel like that cannot be true. I think confidence is something that you develop either for... Joe's playing Confident by Demi Lovato. Anyways, I just think that confidence is something that is developed either by how you were raised, how you viewed yourself growing up, whatever. And you may think that somebody was just, born to be confident and have that air about them, but I just don't think that's true.
I think that it is truly I think sometimes you can be born with confidence.
What? Like, how?
I think that, like, maybe not when you're, like, straight out the womb, like, oh, you're just a very confident baby. Like, I don't think that exists, but I think you can start off, like, when you're younger having some confidence. However, there are different types of confidence.
Yeah, that is true.
And oftentimes, people who have one type of confidence don't have another.
Wait, can you describe these different types of confidence, please?
So I actually feel like I know a lot about this because when I was going through a rough patch in my life, I'd watch a lot of YouTube videos just about, how to get more confident, how to be more confident, growing my confidence,
Those
blah, blah, blah.
videos.
Anyway, so I have identified, well, not me, but I know of 3. Oh my God, I sounded so professional.
Joe has actually identified the answer to the universe.
Yes. That's the secret of life, is Joe. So the 3 that I know of, and honestly, if you know more or you have any ideas, just like let us know, because
drop it down below.
There might be some more, honestly. So there's social confidence, physical confidence, and then confidence in like your overall abilities.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So social confidence, they're all kind of like self-explanatory, I feel like. Social's like, you know, your status. It could be like social media, how many likes you get on a post, how many friends you have. Think of the movie Mean Girls. Like, you want to be popular, you want to be, you know, the it girl. Physical, like physical confidence, being confident in who you are. A lot of people, I feel like when we're talking about physical confidence, a lot of people think that if you are pretty or come out with naturally good looks, or you fit the societal standard of physical beauty, that you are inherently born with this really big level of confidence. And I don't think that's true. I think that if you listen to like even like Megan Fox said in an interview once that she struggles with confidence, which is like insane to me because look at Megan Fox. Like, if she's struggling, then we're all doomed. I'm kidding. And then like ability confidence. This one I think is really interesting to me. It's like it's also very self-explanatory, just like confidence in your abilities to do things. Maybe you think that you're
school or work?
School, work, maybe sports, maybe
true.
Like
writing,
bowling,
art, boom.
CCM productions,
Sure.
movie making, movie magic making, whatever that means. Your British accent, your ability to write in pens that aren't the color pink and yellow lighting.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is just really funny because it looks like you have nothing on the paper.
There is nothing on this paper. Oh, wait.
It's also just really funny because Sophie always has like 4 pages of notes for each like maybe 2, but
let's be honest here. It's just 2.
It's 2, but it's just funny because right now it looks like she has nothing on her paper, and I'm so used to having like looking at my paper and there's like 2 thoughts written down and then looking over.
You always bring something to the table though, girl.
Thank you. It's just okay. The reason I didn't write that much is because I feel like oftentimes I don't even look at my paper.
Yeah, you just go with the flow.
And like I think that's become a recent thing. I think I've become more confident in my abilities. Oh my god, that was so good. Look at me, professional.
Let's bring it back.
The first time ever Joe has brought us back to
the topic.
in spilled history. Yeah, I actually wanted to bring up something because I think with confidence, I think a lot of people look at other people and say, like you were saying before, like, oh, this person has so much confidence. This person has so much. And I think that confidence is not this, like, ability of every day I'm super, super happy with myself. Mm-hmm. Confidence is being, like, some days you may have bad days and you may be a little bit more insecure than others, but then you sort of can pick yourself up from that mindset.
It is kind of a spectrum.
Yeah,
a roller coaster.
I think that sometimes, like my roommate said to me one time, she was like, Joe, you seem very confident. Like, you seem like you know that
that you're bad.
Yeah. And I was like, yes and no. Like, for a long time of my life, I literally, like, it was not the case. Like, it wasn't always like that. And it's not always like that now. Like, there are days I wake up and I'm like, I feel very ugly duckling right now. And, like, I kind of get out of that and I'm like, well, I don't really care anymore. Like, there's no point. I think that, you know, I go through ups and downs where I have more confidence than I do, and I think that's normal. I think I think
so too.
Yeah, I feel like if you're confident 124% of the time,
I don't think that's realistic.
Yeah, or you're very egotistical.
Well, actually, that was something I wanted to ask you.
Am I an ego?
was if you are egotistical, if you think that your confidence is.
This feels like this feels like you're trying to confront me on something.
No, girl, this is the real question. The question is that what is the difference between confidence and cockiness or like arrogance?
I think sometimes cockiness can be like overcompensating for not lack of confidence. I also think.
Ooh, wait, pause. That was a good thought. Wait, so you're overcompensating for the confidence you actually don't have, but you're acting like you do.
Mm-hmm. So you're trying to like.
That is an interesting perspective.
You like trying to comfort yourself. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's how narcissism works.
Oh my gosh. Are we calling?
I think.
This just jumps to another level.
Please do not follow that. I'm not sure. I'm not.
Joe is not a professional.
Yeah,
and neither
I don't really know that. I haven't researched that enough to know that for sure, but I don't know. Yeah, I think for me, there's this really good quote. It's like, wait, I'm gonna have to
pull it up, girl.
I'm gonna have to pull it up, or it's gonna sit in the back of my mind and bother me for the remainder of the night. I'm sure everyone has thought about this. Confidence isn't walking into a room thinking you are better than everyone. It's walking in not having to compare yourself to anyone at all.
Ooh!
Which I think that goes along with what you were saying about ego. Is ego seems like you have to sort of have this mindset where you're trying to convince yourself that you're better than everyone because you're scared of.
But I think there are people though that actually do just have that arrogance and
that they
ego.
Just inherently think
and
that they're better than everyone.
And they truly think that.
But I think there's this underlying fear with most people who are like that is that deep down it's because they're scared that they're not good enough.
But maybe they don't even realize that that is a subconscious thing.
Yeah, and I think that those people can be so draining to be around.
Has this been studied?
Well,
have psychologists studied this? I'd like to know.
I know from personal experience of being a very insecure person. I've talked about this before, but I went through a really weird time in my life where I was very socially insecure, physically insecure, ability insecure. Basically, I was just an insecure person, like across the board, but primarily socially insecure, I would say, and it caused a lot of anxiety. And I think that when you are like that, people tend to get this idea through like movies or through shows that an insecure girl or insecure person, that they sort of only think they're only tearing themselves down, right? Like when they're talking, they're like, oh my God, I'm such a loser, like I'm so bad. But I think that there's this whole other ugly side of being insecure where you tear down other people.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not the case for everyone, but for me it was. And that is really sad because I didn't even know I was doing it. And of course I wasn't saying it to people, but I was just I hated myself so much that I projected it onto other people.
I see.
And guys, if you know someone like that, chances are that when they are hating on you or hating on, someone around you in your friend group, that they're just really, really in pain. And don't take it personal. And that's coming from personal experience. If you know a mean girl, and I wouldn't even say I was a mean girl. I think I just was very angry at the world.
Okay.
Anyway. But yeah, so yeah. I think there's two sides of the coin. I think that, and one side of the coin is just I don't think is shown realistically.
Okay.
A lot of times in media.
Okay, I see. Interesting.
Guys, sometimes I talk to Sophie and I ramble, and then she's like, like
Things are processing.
Yeah, she
in
like
the
processes it, and then she'll give me like a, oh, yeah.
Oh,
I agree. I've never thought about it like that. And then I'm like, oh.
I'm such a bot. Dang.
Not to call her out, but
No, like, low-key, those are bot responses. My bad.
just sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I get worried that I'm not saying like good things, and then
No,
I'm like,
I think you do bring good thoughts to the table.
and then I'm like, dang, maybe she's like, wow.
No, I don't think that.
Weird.
No, we're cutting that off. I don't think that at all.
I know. It's just something I'm
Okay.
insecure about.
Not confident about.
But I know. I think. Okay. Spillers. I'm gonna give you some Joe one-on-one advice.
Ooh.
It is okay to be insecure. It is not okay to project your insecurities onto other people. So what I'm saying is be aware that you're insecure. And this has taken me a long time to sort of recognize. But guys, once you have that ability to recognize where you're insecure, where you like, whether it's socially, physically, abilities-wise, it makes it a lot easier to correct it. And it makes it a lot easier not to push other people away because of it.
Very true.
Knowledge
Self-awareness.
Dropped. Mic drop. I'm so sorry about this chair. It is so loud. Sophie's posting something on the Instagram, and I think it's, or she's typing, or I don't know, but she took a photo of a video of something of me, and now she could be putting a weird Snapchat filter on me. I don't know. She could be cyberbullying.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really, really good.
Guys, I hope you can hear that wonderful music playing in the background.
This podcast is presented by El Vaquero.
Authentic Mexican dining just steps off of UC's campus on Short Vine.
Visit El Vaquero today at 2845 Short Vine Street and follow them online at El Vaquero Clifton. El Vaquero, the best in Cincinnati.
I guess sort of on the track that you were sort of going on when you were talking about your past in school and everything. I think a really big thing about confidence, like you said, is self-talk.
Yeah.
With confidence and the way that you talk about yourself. And I think that this is something that so many people do and just glaze over because they think it's not a big deal. But I actually think that this is going to determine how you view yourself, because you can say how you view yourself is based on other people, which it can be, yes. But I really think it all comes from within. And if you are constantly saying negative things about yourself, whether it's out loud or just in your head, I think that only really does harm. And like, there's just no way that is actually adding to you becoming more comfortable with yourself and more confident.
Yeah.
So it's not helping anything, and it's kind of a hard habit to break. But it's a habit we all need to realize that you're doing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think part of just like what is so amazing about like what I learned in high school is there was this moment for me where I realized, like, it just dawned, like, that I realized that the words that I was talking to myself, like, how much of an effect that had on me and how much control I actually had over it. And it was just like so interesting. Yeah. And you know that thing where they're like your frontal lobe develops?
Yeah.
It was like that. It
Joe's
was like
frontal lobe developed right there in that moment.
I know. And it was like, it's just insane because especially they'll teach you, if you ever go into therapy for like, a lot of times anxiety tends to attack insecurity. they'll teach you how to sort of talk yourself down from these insecure thoughts that you're having and how much you can sort of control it.
Yeah, what would you say are the best techniques for that you've learned?
Honestly, it's hard, especially when you sort of go your whole life when in this sort of like sickening mindset. The first step is realizing, honestly, that you're doing it. Because I think a lot of times...
Awareness!
Yeah, a lot of times people don't even realize that they're doing it. And I have to say, a lot of times insecurity, like going back to what I was saying before, when you're tearing other people down because you are an insecure person, you don't even realize that that is stemming from an insecurity.
True.
And I think that once you sort of realize that you're doing that you are internally tearing down yourself, that's the first big step. Now the next step, and probably I would argue can be hard, is stopping yourself when you are in that mindset and combating those thoughts. And I think that sometimes we can say stuff to ourselves and we don't even realize that it's negative. And it takes stopping, thinking, and then how do I combat this thought?
That's like breaking a cycle.
Yeah. And I think for me, I honestly kind of had a step ahead because I had a therapist at the time who helped me break through a lot of my cycles. But if you can sort of just be cognitively reviewing what you're saying to yourself, I suggest saying something positive. So like that would look like if you're looking in the mirror and like, oh my god, I look so ugly today, be like, no I don't, I look pretty today. Or if you are like your abilities, you're worried that you're not going to do good on a test, say, I don't know what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Yeah, I could do great on this. And with abilities, I think it can be trickier because it's, it's different. But it's like, okay, maybe I won't do good on that one, but I will for sure do good on the next one because I'm going to study and I'm going to work hard to get there. Socially, I think for me, a lot of my thoughts would be something like, I'm scared to go up to this person and talk to them, or I'm intimidated by this person because they're better than me. How do you know if you're never going to do it?
Yeah. Those are like great habits.
Yeah.
That like you can take into your daily life and just immediately break the cycle with that.
I think obviously that sort of takes a lot, but it's worth it. I think if you're trying to go in more of like a you need more to break it down, I think journaling can help. I think another thing is listening to the people that you think are super confident and like confiding in them and hearing about how sometimes they're not confident.
Ooh, I like this one.
Can help you a lot. I think that a lot of times insecurity can be a very isolating experience because you think that you're the only person who's like going through something where you're like, oh my god, I'm X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Because it is really a comparison game.
Yeah, and another great quote, comparison is the thief of joy.
It really is. Yeah.
But yeah, so like it's and the whole for me, social insecurity really hits home. Like that was such a big struggle of mine, and it still is. And it's I still go into a negative mindset sometimes. Like I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I'm perfect because I'm only perfect 50% of the time.
And the other 50%,
The other 50%.
I do think it's a journey, though.
I agree.
And I mean, in the way that society is in this world. I don't see a world in which we're all just going to be perfectly happy and exceptionally perfect with ourselves. You know what I mean? So.
Can I ask you, what's your journey with confidence been like?
Oh. Well.
I feel like I've talked a lot about mine.
No. Actually, you bringing up the 3 different types of confidence really helps me break it down, and I'm really glad you broke that down for me. Break it down.
Break it down.
Sorry. I do think socially, I've always had a lot of confidence issues. Just, I've always been deemed as a shyer kid, and I think I was more introverted, and when I was younger, I didn't understand that not being extremely extroverted, like the people that were around me growing up, I didn't realize as a kid that being introverted and not extroverted was actually not like a curse. You know what I mean? Because, I don't know, when you're growing up and you're having all these influential experiences and impactful memories and relationships and whatever, and there's a lot of people around you who are extroverted and putting themselves out there and who are exactly opposite of you, it's hard to think that you're not quote unquote the problem or like are different in a way. And so that was something I always struggled with, and I still struggle with now because I'm still not completely extroverted, so I always get a little bit insecure about if I'm being too introverted, and then also like with abilities. We've talked about before, we had a whole episode about imposter syndrome, and I think that has a lot to do with confidence. So if you haven't watched that yet, go watch that. That's basically my explanation of confidence because it's not good. I don't know where that really stems from, but I think just, especially right now, though, there's a lot of educational pressure in my major and everything that I think...
Especially, like, competition. Like,
competition
both
really
of our
drives
majors are very competitive.
Yeah.
And
so,
it's... Sorry, I didn't mean
naturally.
to cut you off.
No, yeah.
I think that, especially, just going back to our majors... It is very, very almost impossible to not compare yourself, right? Because our majors are both very talent-based, like, are very, like, talent-based majors. And when you go to sort of, I guess, more traditional academically focused majors, in my mind, you can always... study it. You can always study more. You can always study harder and get better. And that's very much of like a instant sort of thing. An instant like
something improvement. You can control.
Yeah. With our majors, it's definitely more of a long-term process of, I have to work at this to get better.
Yeah.
And I also think for me a really big thing is because I was struggling a lot with this specifically, like right after winter break. I had this whole like period of time where I got into this really negative mindset of just like, I'm not good enough, I shouldn't be here, like of just like, well, why did I pick this? Like, this whole like, this is the mindset. That pretty much sums it up. And I sort of lost the like freedom with my art, which once you do that, it can really suck. But I think that like inherently there is this just like pressure or this just like comparison that you have
and that affects
creative majors, honestly.
And that affects your confidence going into those activities and everything. And so I've experienced that a lot,
especially with critiques. I would say.
Yeah, for you, critiques. Actually, I actually had a critique today.
Don't you guys have critiques?
Yeah, and it makes me want to peel my skin off every time.
Yeah, and it sucks. I think it's worse when you don't like what you made and you have to go into it.
That happened to me.
Really?
Actually, last week, I put in a project. Every week we do a critique on Monday in my audio production class, and I completely messed up the project. I wasn't there for the description of how to do it, and I asked like 3 different people, and I thought finally like, oh, okay, I understand what's going on here. I can do this. And so I did it. Right. So I did it wrong.
No.
And I was the only one in the class too. And we listened to it as a class, and it's a small class, like 12 people, maybe, I don't know. And it was just like the actual
No, I get that.
terror of him being like, ooh, no.
And
No.
it's worse when you're like going either like in the middle or you're not first, and you know you did the project wrong.
No, I know, I knew.
And
I
you're
knew.
You're just sitting there in terror,
What's
waiting.
actually worse than that is that for the first 5 projects, he was like, wow, guys, these are great. You know, there's a lot of people who mess this up. There's like a lot of people who mess this up. And I was just sitting there like, yeah, I bombed this.
Thank you.
I still got a 100
Okay.
for the effort.
I think he probably was like, oh, you weren't here. Figured.
It was a bit of a confidence loss there and an ego loss. So when I presented my project today, I was like, I actually was feeling pretty confident about it, and it turned out pretty good. But I was like nervous as
hell.
I'll get out.
Oh,
yeah. No. Well, yeah.
How would you say when you go through something like that, when you're knocked down on your booty, you're behind,
Yeah.
and you may not feel as confident in your projects or how do you regain that
Like
confidence?
motivation to even keep going?
Damn.
Well, like,
Jesus.
I'm gonna be honest.
I wasn't gonna say
like,
that. That was very like.
Well, for real, like, I've always been a sensitive child, and I'm still sensitive as I've grown up. And, man, it really, like, it feels like everything is, like, 5 times more of a blow than it should be. If you feel that, girl or guy, whoever you are, whatever, I'm right there with you. That is a horrid feeling. And
it just.
yeah, so
Ooh,
that's why I say,
right now.
like, you literally lose motivation to keep going. Because, I mean, with that specific example, I wasn't like, okay, I'm going to quit life.
Everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
not even your
I'm
major,
just,
your life.
No, like, I wasn't like that. And I wasn't even like, I'm going to quit my major. I think I was too tired to even care. But, like, there have been instances where I feel like I've failed so much and I've had such a confidence drop that I do lack motivation to do any of it anymore. And I guess I don't know what the answer is besides accepting it and giving yourself enough grace to see things through.
Yeah, I have to say, at least for my major, the way I went through that whole, like, kerfuffle after winter break is just giving yourself the time to create for yourself.
Yeah.
And have no one look at it, no one, do whatever, and just, or not even that, just give yourself, like, just allow yourself to do what you want, do whatever you want. Have no rules, have no instructions on what you're supposed to do. Just let yourself loose. And when I did that, because it was, like, during spring break that I painted for 7 days straight.
I remember you telling me about that.
And that was,
I was like, wow.
That was therapeutic for me. Because it was just, like, I was doing whatever I wanted. No care in the world. No, there wasn't any meaning behind the art. It was just me doing whatever. And I loved that. And, I love the projects that I do in my classes, but sometimes I think that when you are given a structured outline of like what you need to have, what you need to do, you're like very stuck in these confining like restraints.
Yeah.
What you need to do for projects, it can really make it hard to not be hard on yourself because you have so many expectations for yourself on what it should look like, what it should be like,
and then the self-doubt comes in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bad. But anyway, I wanted to go back to, you said that you were socially not confident or insecure.
Yes, indeed, I did say that.
Because you were an introverted kid, which is very funny because, not funny, but it's actually
it could
like,
be, the way you look at it.
it's very ironic because I want to say like, I feel like for me, like unlike most people, I went through stages of my life where I've been more introverted, I've been more extroverted.
Yeah.
Like I oscillate. Good word.
Are you an omnivert?
I think so. But now I'm happy where it's not like I'm going through these, where I don't go through these long periods of time where I'm where I'm.
Would you say you're more of an introvert now or an
No.
extrovert?
Okay. So
Like, how do you recharge? That's really what it depends on.
hold on, because you have to understand. Okay, so when I was a kid, like I'm talking, I'll give you like timeline. So from kindergarten to 4th grade, I was very quiet, very shy, very blah blah blah, didn't talk, very like shyest kid. Then I transferred schools. Loudest kid ever, like making jokes, cracking jokes, funny, ha 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 ha.
Ha ha.
Middle school, I was quite the delinquent. I was
Ooh.
very loud.
Ooh,
Some people
Joe the delinquent.
Some people could say I was a troublemaker. Not actually, yeah. I just caused havoc. I was a loud kid. I was,
I'm just picturing you just absolutely like
chaos.
yeah.
That was
absolute
my
chaos.
middle school experience. I was just, oh my gosh. I was very loud, very extrovert. I would talk to everyone. I was known as the girl who had like friends in all different circles. And then high school hit and I didn't talk to anyone. And so I became very closed off to everyone because I was insecure. And
No lack of confidence, you might say.
yeah, and it was sucked because it was like complete 180, complete life change. And I just realized like that's not who I am. Like I'm not a shy person. I'm not like I like to talk to people. I like to get to know people. And I think now in my adult life, my 19-year-old life, I'm about to be 20.
Crazy.
Gross. 1 year till 21, which is insane.
Ooh.
She's old. Now I've accepted and I appreciate this about myself that I can be both introverted and extroverted.
Okay.
I love myself because I think that I am someone who truly, and I know there's a lot of people out there that I'm an ambivert. And they're not actually. I truly think that I am underlying an introvert. I do get more energy from being alone.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm introverted to the point where I always get energy that way. Like
You also get energy by being around people.
yeah, it depends. A lot of times it's how comfortable I am with people.
Wow, yeah.
Which if I'm not comfortable around you, it takes a long time. But like, if I'm around a group of people that I actually like their presence and like I'm comfortable, I can be my true authentic self. There's a lot less masking that I have to do. ADHD people, you know. I tend to be more that loud, extroverted person, and then when I'm that person, I get more energy from being around people. So
I see.
it just depends on the day, honestly.
It depends on the day.
It depends on the day.
Okay.
Don't know what accent that was. But I wanted to say to you,
Oh, right. I forgot where this came from.
Anyway, more about me talking about myself. Anyway.
No, girl, that's literally our podcast.
Anyway, I know that's why I love it. I'm joking. I wanted to say, I think as someone who's experienced both sides of the coin, I'd say being an introvert, I definitely think it has like strengths. And I don't think that it's necessarily to be something that's looked at as like, you know, that it's not as sort of beneficial as extroversion. Okay. I think that, and just knowing you as a person, and knowing a lot of extroverts, that introverts tend to be a lot more socially aware. Not all introverts, but I just think that when you're someone who's sort of maybe shyer in a social setting, you sort of maybe understand it a little bit more because you're more of a watcher. You're less of a engager.
I see.
But I think that, introversion comes with its strengths just as much as being an extrovert. Also, I would like to clarify this because this is a common misconception. Introvert and extrovert, it's a spectrum.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people are not one or the other. They're like somewhere in the middle, somewhere.
I connected to what you said, though, about like if you're with the right group of people, then your true self comes out. That's how I think. That's what happens with me. Because if you're friends with me, I don't think you would think I'm introverted. I mean, you might, but like, so like, I don't know. Do you feel like, I don't know. I feel like when I'm around the right group of people, then like my goofy, fun side comes out.
Her just silly little.
My silly little side. All right, I gotta cut that.
Her little quirkiness. She's so quirky.
Throw up. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said.
So maybe I am more introverted. I don't know.
I don't know.
I do think that maybe I'm more outgoing than you. Would you say that?
Yeah, I try to be more outgoing.
I don't feel like you're very like ingoing.
It also depends who I'm with, I think.
That makes sense. I don't feel like you're very like.
If I'm with somebody who's very outgoing, I can be too. I think that actually that connects to confidence.
That I love. Oh yes.
Because if somebody else has the confidence to do something, it helps me have the confidence to also do it.
So I wonder if extroverts tend to have no social like they're very socially.
Embarrassment, scared of her.
Yeah, like confidence.
Social anxiety, scared of her.
Yeah, I would say like I wonder if extroverts have no social
awareness.
No,
I don't think
that's social insecurity. Is what I meant. Like, or it's less for them.
I wouldn't say no.
Just a little bit. But, like, maybe that's why. Because I think for me, when I was very introverted, it was because I was scared to go and talk to people.
We should have brought an extrovert on.
I know.
If you're an extrovert.
I should have brought Peyton. Peyton's an extrovert.
Your roommate?
Yes. She's not, like, a super big extrovert. But I've definitely been someone who's friends with people who are really extroverted.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's an interesting thought. I don't know. Interesting. Maybe I'm going to go ask my extroverted friends when I get back.
I really love being around extroverted people because they make it so easy to be myself.
Yeah.
And I think that tends to get me that I hope I can be like that for other people in a sense.
Oh. Yeah.
Sometimes I think about it like that, and then when I'm like that, I'm like, ooh.
I mean, like, in a professional setting, I could be the most extroverted person you know.
Yeah, I just think it depends on who you're around.
Like, I had an interview for something. I don't know who that girl was, but she was an extrovert in that. Because she knew she had to get that bag.
She wanted that money.
I actually do have a question. This is kind of off topic, like a little weird. And I don't know how much you have left, but this is my last one.
My 5.
Yeah.
My 5 points.
I do think, on a different note, something that is interesting that I didn't really think about until we had to for this episode, is that societal expectations shape confidence differently for different groups of people.
I agree. Like women.
And I was,
Sorry.
we'll speak on
Did
the
I
women
just
aspect.
do your point?
No. You've got it completely right, girl. I think as a woman, it fits completely. I think that with girls, at least, there is, so much societal pressure, especially with confidence.
I agree.
And it's really unfortunate because this is always prevalent on social media, everywhere in our lives, everywhere you look, in film, all of it.
I agree.
And I think that it really, you could look at it in two different ways. There's this side where it's very detrimental to young girls, women, all around. There's the other side where people choose to use their platform and their lives to actually make a positive impact on people's confidence and self-esteem, all of that. I think that's nice. But then, there was that other side.
Yeah, I agree. I think that social media, and we've probably covered this at some point on the pod, but like social media plays such a huge role in that of people's lives aren't always what they look like. And this is like once again, like what we said in the beginning, this is why you can't compare yourself to like what you're seeing on social media, which is something I also struggled in with college, because I think that when you get into college, there's a lot of posts just about how, you see all these posts about how your friends are living their magnificent life and like, and how they found a new group of friends, and you may not be struggling with that, but then I think you quickly learn that a lot of times people are just meeting people and like for 5 seconds and then asking for photos with them.
Yeah.
And you can't like compare yourself to that, because it's not fair to you to do that. But at the end of the day, if you are struggling with confidence, it is always something that you can work on, and
it's universal.
Yes, you're not
Everyone
alone.
Experiences this issue.
Facts.
Drop the mic, period.
Point
End
blank,
of story.
blank, period. Copy, no printer.
No crumb.
Printer
All right.
facts.
Yeah. So, I mean, to end this off, I kind of want to share some goals I have for my personal confidence journey. If you want to also do the same.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't really have set confidence goals, but
I
I'll
mean,
listen.
like me neither, but thinking about this, I am going to be more self-aware of how I speak about myself, and realizing that things just aren't that deep. Embarrassment is kind of a social construct, and
who cares?
what does this say?
I got you.
I really want it to be thank you. I couldn't see the rest of my I really want to be more confident in the work that I create, and also with people. All of it, honestly. I just want to work on it all.
I
be
think
more aware.
for me, I've talked to Sophie about this, but I'm taking on a couple new leadership positions next year. I think with that can come a lot of doubt, but I'm going to try and be confident in my abilities, because
Yes,
I
you
know
are.
that I can do it.
Yes, you can.
Fingers crossed. I'm kidding.
Period.
Anyway, that has been our episode on confidence.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Wow, guys, can we just give a moment to recognize how long and how far we have come from day one?
I mean, it's been honestly insane.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I mean, we're nearing, 16 episodes?
This is that, yes, maybe
17.
17. But this one has been nice, though.
I know.
I was a little, worried I wouldn't have much to say on confidence, but I actually feel like
No, I feel like it's good, and I feel like we get a lot of compliments on the
Ones
This.
where we're just with each other.
which is kind of interesting.
It is.
Just in going back and watching the first episode of like
Oh, I cringe. I cringe. Thanks for joining this episode. We hope that you enjoyed. And you gotta stay tuned for next season. Maybe you can rewatch our old episodes in the summer. Maybe we'll figure out something else to do.
maybe we'll do a special reunion.
Maybe.
Wait, I mean, me and Sophie are definitely gonna have to talk about some things like moving
We have
forward.
we have to do a little
We're gonna have a meeting.
brainstorming meeting sesh.
We'll see.
Low key.
See how much money
Yeah.
Joe makes.
And Sophie. And Sophie as well. But thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Love you.
Love you, Spillers.